Back when Hollywood knew how to make comedies about 30 years ago, a movie called Office Space came out, a perfect treatment on the nihilism of the American office workspace. And three disgruntled employees on their last day at work took their aggression out on a printer, which was the single greatest annoyance and enraging vector for their workplace, and resulted in one of the funniest scenes in what I believe to be American cinematic history, as these three employees to gangster rap music smash the hell out of this printer and beat it to death. This just shows the basic aggression of the pent-up office environment and what it means to actually take that aggression out, finally getting the let out. And that's exactly what Tulsi Gabbard's doing right now. Tulsi Gabbard is on her last day in office, and she's left the ODNI role, and that sucks because we like Tulsi a lot. Tulsi Gabbard, however, dropped a heater on her way out. She brought the printer out to the middle of the field and beat the hell out of it, effectively nuking Dr. Fauci's entire life and career forever by releasing a never-before-seen report and communication and documentation exposing how Dr. Fauci provided millions in U.S. taxpayer funding to dangerous gain-of-function research in Wuhan lab and worked to politicize elements within the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions and hide the virus's lab leak origins, and then lied to Congress while under oath in 2024. Meaning, of course, he's within the window where you could absolutely charge the guy. It's time you know the truth, says Tulsi. I'll play you Tulsi's video in just 1 second, but let's go ahead and click on this report. Oh, yeah, it's real. Fauci funded Wuhan lab research that sparked COVID. That's the title. Holy moly. And here it is. Let's go ahead and read the top line here. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, Anthony Fauci, the head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, provided millions in U.S. taxpayer funding to dangerous gain-of-function research. That was illegal, of course. And this was the lab leak that sparked the pandemic. Tulsi Gabbard has now released the information that Fauci tried to suppress about his actions, virus leak origins. Whew, what an absolute heater. You can view the communications and documents here. They are. Oh, my goodness. So what is going to happen next is Dr. Fauci has to go to prison. Fauci's close intelligence community relationship enabled him to assume three key roles during the pandemic. Fauci funded risky coronavirus research linked to big pharma in the pursuit of universal vaccines worth trillions of dollars. Fauci was behind-the-scenes advisor with handpicked experts who pushed the intelligence community to endorse natural origin and hide his dangerous research. Fauci became the nation's pandemic pundit and publicly pushed lies, disinformation, and censorship. Fauci's relationship with the intelligence community, pushed public narratives. Fauci lied to Congress, retaliated against truth seekers. Holy moly. The following examples have been referred to the intelligence community's inspector general. Oh, man. Look at this. Spiraled in panic as Tulsi Gabbard prepares to unleash bombshell file dump on CIA mind control project and Dr. Fauci. Well, we haven't seen the mind control project, MK Ultra, yet, but the Dr. Fauci thing is real as a heart attack, and it's giving people a heart attack in the deep state. Tulsi Gabbard drops the documents. Gabbard says that the records demonstrate the connections between the U.S.-funded research, Wuhan virology efforts, and lied to Congress. Well, I mean, if you lied to Congress in 2004, then you're going to jail. You should go to jail. That is absolutely within a window where you could prosecute and prosecute savagely. Look at this. Kennedy thanking her. The American people deserve the truth. Tulsi Gabbard going insanely viral on this. Holy moly. Tulsi Gabbard, ladies and gentlemen. She's leaving office. Some say it's because of the Iran war. She was obviously against that. But she's saying that her husband has, and we, of course, he does. He has bone cancer and he's doing surgeries, and he's been in surgery. Actually, he's done now 2 surgeries. Lies, disinformation, censorship. And so she's going to be with her husband. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe it could be Maybe it could be a system where Tulsi Gabbard comes back in some capacity. I don't know. Big fan of Tulsi Gabbard, though. Obviously she's been a friend of the show. Over the last 15 months, Tulsi Gabbard has challenged the entrenched bureaucracy, fought Aloha director, and fought and ultimately serves the American people. Clap in, clap out. Aloha director. Well, there we go. Here she is on her first day, and here she is on her last day. I just walked out of ODNI headquarters for the last time. Thank you, President Trump. I remain grateful and profound honor to serve the American people as Director of National Intelligence. Just in time for the upcoming MK Ultra hearing. Oh, boy. Yeah. Sick to my stomach reading Tulsi Gabbard's declassified bombshells. They lay out the entire treasonous plot, weaponizing Zelensky phone call to impeach Trump, Rudy Giuliani. Wow. I mean, this is just, the network that these guys have put together. Finally, here we go. Thank you to Tulsi Gabbard. Anthony Fauci should be in prison. Dr. Death, the single greatest evil bureaucrat in the history of the world, and that's saying a lot, gives us a parting gift and exposes new information on how Fauci created or COVID and undermined President Trump, withheld information to cover his own ass. Best DNI the country's ever had. Tulsi Gabbard, this is Rand Paul, drops a bombshell with more evidence of Fauci's collusion. The release includes additional documents revealing the truth, lab leak origins. I referred Fauci to the DOJ multiple times for criminal prosecution of his web of lies. Thank you, Tulsi Gabbard. More to come. Arrest Fauci now. Final hours is DNI. She's doing God's work. Best director in history. Best director in history. Thank you, Gabbard. Prosecute Fauci. People should never forget what was allowed to be done to us. Where are the Democrats now? Wow. Okay, so I'm just going to play you Tulsi Gabbard's full explanation of her actions against Dr. Fauci. You've now seen how beloved she is, and this is her parting swan song as to why she is so beloved by the MAGA base. Somebody who really took her role seriously and honorably, and we're going to miss her. Here's Tulsi.
Before the COVID pandemic, Dr. Fauci, as head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, work which is now widely viewed as the source of the unintentional lab leak that sparked the pandemic. Now, in support of President Trump's maximum transparency mandate, today, on my final day as Director of National Intelligence, I'm releasing never-before-seen communications and documents that expose exactly how Fauci worked with politicized career leadership in the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions, the virus's lab leak origins, and his role in directing U.S. funding for this dangerous research that caused immeasurable harm and countless lost lives. Now, these documents expose Fauci's direct role in influencing and manipulating IC assessments on COVID-19 and how Fauci lied to Congress in 2024 when under oath he denied knowledge of or participation in discussions with intelligence officials about viral research. We also received testimony from multiple intelligence community whistleblowers who reported retaliation for challenging the intelligence community's manipulation of intelligence on the virus's origins, once again revealing a clear pattern of suppressing dissent, silencing critics, and burying the truth. Dr. Fauci's close relationships with the intelligence community enabled him to assume three key roles that shield him from scrutiny. First, Dr. Fauci funded dangerous gain-of-function coronavirus research linked to Big Pharma and their pursuit of universal vaccines worth trillions of dollars. Second, Dr. Fauci was the behind-the-scenes advisor who, alongside his hand-picked so-called experts, pushed the intelligence community to endorse a natural animal origin to hide his dangerous gain-of-function research that he funded using taxpayer dollars, all of this in a deliberate attempt to cover up the truth and shift the blame and attention away from Fauci's own actions. Third, Dr. Fauci became the nation's pandemic pundit, and he publicly pushed lies, disinformation, and censorship using every platform available. Now, according to hundreds of reviewed emails, which are included in this release, the intelligence community almost always incorporated Fauci's recommendations. He promoted a fraudulent paper whose publication he helped prompt as legitimate information for intelligence community consideration. Senior analysts praised Dr. Fauci not as a policymaker, but as what they called an unbiased guide to the real coronavirus experts, while deliberately ignoring experts who might dissent from Fauci's narratives. Now, Fauci didn't stop there. He blatantly lied to Congress under oath during his 2024 testimony to the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic, denying that he ever spoke to any intelligence agency about COVID. Now, the correspondence I'm releasing today directly contradicts his sworn testimony. Now, we received statements from multiple whistleblowers revealing that the intelligence analysts who dared to challenge Dr. Fauci's COVID origin conclusions faced threats of retaliation, marginalization, and many suffered career setbacks. For example, a contractor was terminated just days after coming forward to ODNI as a whistleblower. Another example, those who advocated for the lab leak hypothesis or expressed dissenting views were reminded by their managers that leadership would determine which analysts would be promoted and which would not. The message was clear: go along or be punished. Now, senior leaders also sought to undermine whistleblowers by removing anonymity, which is required in the whistleblower process, as they made their complaints, and also insisting that their managers or attorneys be present during ODNI meetings where these whistleblowers were coming forward with their testimony, obviously creating an atmosphere of intimidation. The COVID pandemic caused tremendous hardship and pain for millions of our fellow Americans and countless people around the world. Now, after years of lies and censorship and cover-ups, the American people deserve transparency, truth, and accountability. The tactics that were used to hide the truth are straight from the deep state playbook. Politicized, self-serving leaders like Dr. Fauci covered up their own wrongdoing and abuses of power, manipulated intelligence, lied to Congress, and undermined a duly elected president by restricting his access to the vital facts he needed to keep the country safe. It's time you know the truth.